Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going, Farmer Michelle? Wild Moopsie?
Good.
Going
Very
good. Hope you all had a good vacation.
Oh, man. It's relaxing. You eat any cookies?
Too many
No,
cookies.
I don't think I had any cookies now that I think about it. And I love cookies. I did have a lot of ice cream, though.
Nice.
Nice. Ice cream in the winter.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with ice cream in the winter.
That's right. Well, this is our town hall. Everybody, thanks for joining. We've been doing this for about 1.5 years or so. And we got it on YouTube. And if you're on Discord, there is a link. You can listen to it there. And today it's me, Volcron, Farmer Michelle, Wild Moopsie. And let's get oriented here with some of the people who are in Discord. If you're listening, remember that if you haven't done it yet, if you're on YouTube, make sure to click like on it and also subscribe. If you see the little bell, click that too to get notifications. And while we're going over this and the updates and all that, if you guys want to provide us any live questions, you're welcome to do that. We'll address those as we wrap up all the updates and everything at the end of the presentation. So good morning. Let's see. What do we got? We got some dubstep folks. We got the captain, Mugiwara, Vulture, dubstep rod.
Lazy lumberjack.
Oh, I see Tydra wanting to buy some NFTs. Nice. Gios. Uh-oh. Issue with the store. Sounds like Farm Michelle's helping you out.
Yep, we'll get it figured out.
And Edie Lugs. So fun to see people coming back every week. Oh, and NFT drops. Nice. Hey, Lazy Lumberjack.
All right, let's jump right into some headlines.
Yeah.
I think the first headline I have here just is that the light paper is still in legal review. I know that it's been quite some time now, but once we get through that, we'll have it available for everybody. Once it gets all of the changes and everything gets approved and all of that. Hopefully soon. I'll try to get some type of a timeline or something so that we can let everybody know when that'll be out, but hopefully soon. I don't know if you all have done anything with legal review, right? But yeah, that stuff tends to take a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about rewards, Michelle?
Looks like Boomcane should be out relatively soon. I would think either later today or Monday. We've also got some Zealy rewards from the month of December. Those are the rare arcane earrings, and those should be out, I would imagine, whenever the Boomcane rewards go out. It's all set up and ready to distribute. So everybody who got those Zealy rewards should be coming out soon. It looks like there's also new Zealy quests. We don't have Ninja Surprise here today, but I will share his link in the chat for new Zealy quests. Something about riddles.
Fun.
Apparently there's riddles to solve. Everybody loves riddles.
Ooh, I like a riddle.
I do like riddles also. I might check them out just to see what they are. The only other social media reminder I've got here is our marketing video is up on the Twitter page, and to show it some love.
Do you have any warnings for anybody out there? Anything to be careful of, or?
Oh yeah, always be careful for the scammers out there. That's as the market starts to turn around and more people start to get involved in Web3 again, and the holidays are over now, there will likely be more scammers out there trying to steal your assets. So just make sure if someone's sending you a DM that you know exactly who it is. No one from Gala Games will ever send you a direct message. So if they're pretending to be customer support or a community manager and they've sent you a direct message first, they're just a scammer. So don't give them any information. No one from our team will ever ask you for your seed phrase or your password or anything like that. So just be careful out there. Make sure if you're downloading like browser extensions for MetaMask, that you're doing the right one and not a scam one, because those are out there also. Don't do things like Google search for Gala Games and click on the first ad link, because it's probably also a scam. Make sure that you know exactly what website you're going to before you try to log in.
Oh man, I have a real, I'll keep it real quick. I have an amazing scam I read about, amazing in a terrible way. This poor guy was interviewing at a company, and they wanted him to, it was for some Web3 or blockchain tech. And the interviewers are like, oh, well, we want you to write some sample code, screen share, normal stuff. He's like, okay, he's doing it on his main machine. And like, yeah, just use this package JSON, and we're going to install these modules.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And we're going to write basically a simple hello world or a linked list or whatever. So he goes through the interview and everything's fine. A couple hours later, all his stuff is gone. They had put basically what some people would call a Trojan, basically an NPM package on his machine that read all of his private keys and everything. And that was that. So yeah, nobody's immune, right? There's so many vectors. Thanks for that warning, Michelle.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's a crazy story.
Yep.
Let's see. What we got? Game updates.
I think we're moving on to game updates. Let's do it.
Game update. Well, despite it being, let's see, we didn't do the one right before the break. And despite it being over the holiday break, we've made quite a bit of progress. Anybody who listens week to week knows that we're working on these really long-term big things. We're doing guilds, nodes. A lot of our backend we're redoing, making it scalable for lots of good reasons. So for the next probably 5 to 6, maybe more, of these town halls, you're not going to hear like, oh, and we added this feature and that feature and this feature, like you heard all last year. We love to release that kind of iterative content, but now we're in a big block stage. So what we're doing now, of course, there's anti-cheating. There's ongoing work for that. That does come in every week. All of our, we call it an arms race against cheaters, happens every week. We always hear from you guys. Feel free to send me, Wild Moopsy, Farmer Michelle, Musashi, anybody. If you know of cheats that are actually happening and you have some evidence, feel free to send us messages and we respond to those. We might not tell you what we're doing to catch it or to stop it, but we do read all that. So some more stuff going live for that. And then server scaling. We're doing some interesting work there with regard to load testing. And we want to make our servers, of course, as huge and efficient as possible. And we want our internal teams to be able to spin up as many clients as possible. So we're always looking ways to reduce the RAM usage and CPU and all that. If you pay attention on your machines that you run our game on, you might notice that it doesn't really use a lot of CPU. So yeah, it might be something for you, interesting for you to look at if you're into that sort of thing. I'm doing some networking improvements as always. Godot, if anybody listening is a Godot dev, you know that it dropped better in 4, their networking. They fixed some bugs, but we're on 3.5.1 because 4 doesn't support the HTML5 stuff that we need yet, in case you ever wonder. I mention that every now and then, but they're working on that too. And so we are making networking improvements to the Godot engine, and that's going really well. So far, latest round of testing has turned up no bugs at all. And as a listener, you might wonder, like, why do I care about networking? Well, the messages from your machine or your mobile phone back to the server and vice versa, we want it to be as zero error as possible, as fast as possible, as small as possible. And it's important. So good user experience. So nice to see that coming along. And then for our backend work, always the invisible structure that holds us. These guys, they don't get the shiny particle effects and all that we could show, but their work is so important. They're doing more work on the guilds, the guild feature, things like kicking guild members. So like if you're a guild officer or an owner, then you can kick people out, those sort of things, getting guild details, API calls for that, and accepting guild invites. So those are some of our backend things we're working on. Let's see. Vulture, I'll stick that in the live Q&A at the bottom. So fixes. So this week, all the fixes have been data related, which is pretty good, because normally in any piece of software, you want to be in there. You're like, oh, we had a bug in this routine or that routine, whatever. And almost all the fixes that have gone out have been related to data. We haven't had any major code fixes. That's not to say there aren't any bugs. But the ones that were urgent enough to require changes, those are not. There's not any P0s for the code base, so it is nice to have. Sticker question here, Vulture, for the bottom. And here, this one might be from Mr. Moopsy once we get down there. And
Sure.
yeah, so that's it for the features and fixes. And what's coming up next? Just continued work on that stuff, right? Doing the guilds. Working after that, we're going to be working on daily earnings and all that, all these nice big moving pieces. So that is it for the game updates.
It'll be nice to see it all come together. So excited to get there. It's a lot of big work going on, so it's going to be really nice when we get to the end of it. Let's see here. What do we got? We got Q&A.
All right.
I know we had a couple of questions that were submitted by, I think it was Perriman, the other day that I grabbed from Discord. So the first one I've got here is, how high is a dev priority to make it possible to force all players to fast forward periodically while in competitions?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to reword that for the listeners a little bit. It sounds like what's really being asked is, how high of a priority is it to make the leaderboards accurate, more accurate down to the minute, even accounting for people who are offline? Because what we see, like anybody who's reading Discord this morning or any other time, what you see is like people will get their town in a position where it's making money and it's, in equilibrium and it's making sales. And they're like, cool, I can log out. All their competitors are like, oh, hey, competition ends in an hour and I'm in whatever place, hooray. And then suddenly everybody logs in, they fast forward, and now you're not as high as you thought you were in the leaderboard. So it's a high priority. The short answer is it is a high priority. It relies on our periodic job system. And that's something we're expanding in this quarter and next. So there's several pieces of tech come along for the ride with that. Things like daily earnings and the background town fast forwarding that you were talking about for offline players. So that'll come along the ride with offline batch processing. So hope that answers it for you. Let's see.
The next question here. It says, what do you need to put in place in order to provide a public leaderboard API for the competitions?
Oh. Well, I'm gonna do the pedantic thing and say that it is public. All you got to do is log into the game to see it. But I think what you're really asking is, how about a web page so I can just load it without having to play the game, or an API so my cool tools can read it and display to our guildmates, whatever. That'll be relatively easy once our matchmaking system and our load balancing goes live. It's a large task. It's tied to what I was just talking about, for the leaderboard work and for offline fast forwarding. So it's a big piece, and it'll come along, at some point this year.
Sweet. The next question I have says, will all players in a guild be able to share their NFTs, or only the guild leader can share his NFTs?
Ooh, well, I know the answer, but maybe Wild Moopsy would want to get into that a little.
Yeah, so I think for the start, we're just going to have the guild leader be able to share their NFTs. And then as we kind of work more on this feature, then we'll probably introduce more opportunities where other members are able to share their NFTs.
Yeah, it's easier to just have that one person able to do it, right?
Yeah, at the start. Yep.
Sounds good.
What is the next question we have? It seems you recently decided to release less powerful new NFTs than previously. This looks like a good direction to make the game more sustainable. Can you share the thought process behind designing new NFTs?
Yeah, I can answer this. For sure. Like, I think what's more important is like definitely like building for more sustainability in the game, and we also kind of want to tell kind of more stories with the different like buildings that we're gonna have out. Have a more authentic feel for Common Ground world as well. But I think in the future, like you have to remember, we're working on kind of like upgradable NFTs as well. So like want to keep those everything kind of in line, like keep the balance of the game pretty well as we're moving forward. Hopefully that's enough, or can we do a bit more explaining?
No, it makes sense to me. Yeah. How about the follow-up question of what's the longer-term plan to build out the NFT pool further?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, like doing upgradable NFTs is going to be a cool thing that we can have, where we can sell our NFTs, and players can through competitions or other means collect the materials to upgrade their NFTs as well. And overall, like we just gonna have kind of like a more cool and fun looking NFTs to put in your town, right? We want the town to kind of look more organic and cool looking. Feel like a super cool farm town and things like that.
Nice. Yeah, upgrading is, I don't know, maybe I don't know why I love it so much, but I love maxing out all my upgrades when I play games.
Me too. I like games with like progression systems.
Definitely.
Working towards them.
There's something about like leveling up your stuff that just feels so rewarding when you're playing a game.
I think that's it for our pre-questions, right? We got some live Q&A. Oh, first
that was
one is
for
the Moopsie. Are we gonna have to break out the wizards to make ice for the coffee?
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Like, as you guys know, we're having all that kind of coffee coming up soon, and there's just a lot of things that we can do with that, and iced coffee is one of them. I'd say.
I do love iced coffee. You can drink it faster. Hot coffee is too hard to drink fast.
Yeah, you gotta wait, right?
Exactly.
I had to go to the doctor once because my tummy hurt, and it turned out I was drinking really hot coffee too fast, and I burned the inside of my little tummy.
Oh my goodness. That's rough.
Oh man. There's one from Lazy Lumberjack. I have a question that might be related to a bug. What's up with the frequent offline error messages within Commodore World in the upper left corner? Is it a false alarm? Assuming that you're referring to the little world thing that pops up when your town hasn't been able to save in 60 seconds, that's something we're looking into. That's not expected. It's not a bug in the code base. It's something to do with the infrastructure. So if Lazy Lumberjack, if you're listening and if that's not what you were talking about, just let me know. Next one
looks like the next live question. Yep, from Dubstep says, "Do we know the guild sizes yet?" I'm assuming you mean for nodes. I think Wild Moopsie probably knows that best.
Yeah.
We're still kind of, I think, working on that number, so I don't have anything to share at the moment.
Is it less than 6,000 per guild to start with, like a level 1 guild?
Most likely, I think.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, all right. Yeah, and then Vulture had the same I think it's the same question, Vulture. You said any update on the disconnects? Yeah, let me know if that was it. To me, like the disconnect, you're going to see like the spinning logo in the middle of the screen, like if there's an actual network disconnect. If the back end, for anybody who's new to the game or hasn't seen that little globe icon pop up, every online game has to smooth the networking to create a seamless experience. That's why, like in shooters, you'll see rubber banding if your network connection's bad or the server's overloaded. We don't want, so our client and server, because the game is server authoritative, we don't want you to experience a bad time if, say, the deeper server that you guys can't see, the persistent server, if it's overloaded or it's having trouble saving or something, because we know that's going to load balance out as spikes get smoothed out. So that should be super rare, though, to see that little globe. So that is what we're looking into.
We got another question here. It's from NFT Drops. Says, can we get an upgrade option like roads, but for lumberjacks and farmers? I definitely think that's a cool idea.
That was a really cool idea. I don't know if Oopsie is.
Well, that'd be pretty interesting, to have upgrade for the buildings or workers.
Wouldn't that be something, though, that we would do like through the NFT? Like you would have to have a special lumberjack that's upgradable?
Yeah, that's one. That's something that we could do as well.
Yeah, I think specifically he's asking about like lumberjack to logger, like the in-game buildings, like going from a dirt road to a paved road.
I see. So you don't have to blow it up and just replace it.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
Let's see if we got any other live questions here in the chat. Before earnings are enabled, do you plan to have NFT upgrades or any other way for the game to have extra earnings except NFT sales? Yeah, I mean, once we get upgradable NFTs and all that in there, that'll be a token sync. So that'll all be a part of that. I see Dash is asking about our new PM again, who is not here. We did ask him if he wanted to join this week, but he had something else he had to focus on this week. So hopefully we'll get him in next week. He's a busy guy.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of planning together, working ahead.
We did, for those of you listening who were listening through late mid-November through December, we talked a little bit about and we advertised the position we had for our lead front-end dev. And I'm happy to report that we found an awesome guy. He accepted. He started right before the new year. And he might be in the AMA next week as well, once we get his Discord all set up and everything. So that position has been filled, and we're really happy to have him. Dash. Jeez, dude.
Yeah, I don't know his Discord handle off the top of my head. I don't have the entire team's Discord handle memorized. I apologize for that. I'm sure it's in the list somewhere, and it's just not a priority for me to get you his Discord handle.
I love his trolling style, though, Dash. You're cracking me up, man, all the time. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Not everybody on the team needs to be in Discord 24/7. Some people are more, doing work outside of Discord. Discord is, everyone doesn't need to be in there all the time.
Well, are you, Farmer Michelle, are you up for talking about some of the sales?
Yeah, let's talk about the sales. So we've got between Friday today at 11 a.m. Pacific. So it should be like 2.5 hours from now. And Sunday also at 11 a.m. Pacific. Oh, no, 11 p.m. Pacific. So it'll be a long one. There's going to be some NFTs that are going to have a 30% off. That list of NFTs that are going to be on sale for 30% off are the Mistletoe Arch, the Table of Appreciation, Goldie, Sylvester, and Cooper. the monumental snowman, the gingerbread house, the pilgrim turkey statue, the chocolate fountain, the spooky wheel of nightmares, and the spooky ghost tracks. Let me post this list of them, little picture, so that everybody can see what the final prices will be. And again, that will start today at 11 a.m. Pacific time, so 2.5 hours or so. And we'll run until 11 p.m. on Sunday. There they are.
Nice.
So if you were looking for any of those NFTs, this weekend is the time to get them.
Ooh.
Other than that, there are no new NFTs going on sale this week.
Ooh, spooky ghost tracks is on the Wheel of Nightmares. Nice.
I think that's all I have for sales. The competition that starts next week is, again, anything goes. There was a bunch of changes that got posted in the Common Ground announcement channel on Wednesday with the Leaky Wednesday post. So there's a bunch of cash changes. Nothing is cash boosted this week. So you'll have to slowly build your town up with no cash boost, unless you consider all of those changes cash boosts. Those are permanent, though. They're not temporary. The biome is desert, so there will be an oil seep. I saw someone ask that earlier today. Hold on, I've got a cat in front of my screen now, so I can't see. There we go. I listed the edges as well. I don't have an image of the starter town, but you all should be able to see it as soon as the game update goes live. The edges are forest or North River, East Mountain, South Desert, and West Ocean. So you should have everything you need to make whatever you might want to make. Again, it's desert, so there is an oil seep. And nothing is cash or point boosted. We have talked about switching over to, instead of doing anything goes, moving over to doing like a monthly survey or a poll to see what meta people would like to do as their preferred, and doing that instead of anything goes. So that may be starting next month. We'll see.
That would be fun.
That's all I have for the event. There's no blueprint or anything this week. It's just standard Gala rewards. The starter town is pretty basic. It's a regular wheat starting town with just a couple of windmills added to it. See, question from Lazy Lumberjack. Are the item star cash values in the Discord announcements are the most up-to-date ones? Or is the official Google Sheet the most up-to-date? Well, the Google Sheet that gets shared that's in the FAQ channel is the live information. So that's what's currently live in the game. So the ones that are in the announcement aren't live in the game yet. So they're not in the Google Sheet yet because they're not the actual values currently. But once it does go live with the game update today, those will be updated to show in the Google Sheet what the new values are. Let's see if we have any other live questions.
Postman really likes stacked boxes.
I think that's what everybody's probably going to be making next week. Although without anything being cash boost, it's going to be a struggle to get to stack boxes in a reasonable amount of time.
Interesting. Okay. Well, thanks, Michelle.
I don't think we have anything else really to talk about.
Yeah. So, as a reminder, guys, if you're listening and you enjoy these, you get something out of them, find them useful, make sure to click like. Sometimes I forget to. It's always good to remember, like, oh yeah, I like that channel. Make sure you click the like, you subscribe to it, and that will help you get notifications if you click the bell as well. So jump on into those buttons. Oh, we got more questions now. Drew PH, do we have an AMA today? Yes, sir. We're wrapping it up.
Yeah. It's live right now. If you would like and subscribe for the YouTube, you would get notifications.
That's right. Oh, he's listening. He's kidding. Oh, man. I fell for it. You're famous now, Drew. Coffee Meta Leaks, O-Town is asking.
What type of information would you like? I think we haven't really shared a ton of information. There will be a new building. There will be a new unit. We've got one new crop. Over the course of all the content so far, I think we've planned out, like 4 or 5 new crafts to all be a part of the coffee content, but more will come, I'm sure. That's just what's ready for this round of coffee
Yeah, we're in
content.
the coffee arc.
Yeah.
The coffee storyline.
I'm pretty excited to see it come into the game, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to sell, or hard to conceptualize what it'd be like to sell like a in real life wheat field toy or something. But coffee mugs, if we wanted to do that kind of merch, that would, or swag, that would be really fun, easy.
I would love a Common Ground World coffee mug. I've got a Town Star one. I think feel like we got them as a Christmas gift one year.
Ooh, I want one.
Too late. It already happened.
And we go to the craft store and get one of those $1,200 coffee mug printing devices. make my own. Okay, well, I think that about wraps it up. What do you guys think?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.